Hi everyone, Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome! This channel is for Japanese learners of English. Kiyomo shadowing no lesson wo yadakimashou. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Practice daily to master tango, bunpao, hatsuan, and rhythm. Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Zehi. Channel no toroku wo onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Ever find yourself in a conversation, nodding along and just needing that perfect phrase to say, yeah, I get it? Turns out there's a whole world of ways to agree in English, far beyond just yes, and you've got a lot of options to choose from.
Absolutely. It's like you can say that's true or you're right, but there's so much more color and nuance available, you know?
Exactly. And it really depends on the situation, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
You're not going to use the same phrase with your buddies as you would in a business meeting.
True. You've got your casual nods, your formal agreements, and then those moments when you're just like totally feeling you. It's all about finding the right fit, right?
So how do we navigate this landscape of agreement? What are some of those key expressions we can use, and what kind of situations do they suit?
Well, let's start with the everyday stuff, those casual, yeah, I hear, yeah, kind of phrases. You have right, which is super common, or sure for a kind of a milder agreement. Then there is totally, when you're like 100% on board.
Right, totally, is like you're vibing with them. What about something a bit more emphatic? Something like, I know, right?
Ah, I know, right? That's a great one. It's like you're saying, finally, someone gets it. It is totally that feeling of, I've been saying this all along. Then you have, I feel you, or I hear you, which are perfect when you're showing empathy, letting someone know you get where they're coming from, you know?
Those are more about showing connection, definitely. What about something more neutral, like when you're just acknowledging what someone's saying?
You've got phrases like, I see, which is super common and like pretty safe to use in almost any situation. Or, is that so? Which can have a bit of surprise or a bit of acceptance, depending on how you say it.
Yeah. It is those little differences in tone that can really change the meaning, right? What about when you're agreeing but want to be a bit more affirmative or emphatic?
Then you move to phrases like exactly or absolutely. They're great when you want to really emphasize agreement. It's like, yes, this is spot on, definitely. Also falls in that same category. It's like, yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, those are great for showing that you're not just listening, but you're also completely on board. And that's a good point for a moment when you're not just agreeing, but also giving some props for their insight.
Exactly. And you've got fair enough when you're like, okay, I see your reasoning. I'm conceding, of course, for something obvious. And there is also, I'm not surprised for those I knew it kind of moments.
That makes sense. Now, what if you want to move beyond just agreeing? What if you want to add something of your own, but still acknowledge what they've said?
That's where phrases like, you're right, but come in. Or you can use, I agree, but to soften your disagreement. It is all about adding your twist while showing respect.
Right, you're building on the conversation. And what about those moments when you want to be super formal, like in a business setting?
In formal settings, you can use certainly or indeed. They are like elevated versions of yes, and that's true. You may use I agree to show your confirmation, and I couldn't agree more to show really high levels of agreement.
Those are perfect for those serious, important discussions. So we've covered casual, formal, empathetic, all kinds of agreements. Are there any other little gems that we should know?
Oh, definitely. There's a ton. Things like, you know it, when you're like, yeah, that's a fact. Or you nailed it for when they're totally on the mark. Also, bingo for that, that's it moment. You've also got, I'm with you for showing solidarity.
Those are some great additions. It's fascinating to see how many ways there are to say, I agree, depending on the vibe.
Right. And it really changes the whole tone of the conversation when you pick the right phrase for the right moment. It's like you're not just agreeing, you're engaging.
So to really master the art of agreeing, it is all about listening closely and choosing the phrase that best fits not only the context, but also the emotion of the moment.
Absolutely. And that's how you take your English conversations to the next level. It's all about making that real connection.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? 理解できない部分はありませんでしたか? Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Please let me know your kansa or request in the comments. ぜひチャンネルの登録をお願いします. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. See you next time. Bye bye.